I hope that you guys are having an amazing Halloween. I am really excited to be here. I'm gonna invite my friend Kristi on with us if my phone's gonna work right. This is the first time I'm doing it this way, so I'm gonna try this and we'll see how it goes. Alright, and then once she hops on, we'll get started. I'm so excited to be here. Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. Woo woo. I hope you're having a great day. Let's see. I can't. Can I just... let's see if it's working. Hey, Kristi.
Hey,
How are you?
can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm
can you
good.
hear
How are
me?
you?
I'm wonderful.
Yes,
This
can you
is
hear me?
awesome. I'm really excited this is working out this way. I don't know. For some reason, it's showing me all. This is so cool. Ah! Hi everyone. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Happy Halloween. I hope you're having an amazing
Yeah.
day. Yes. Hey Kristi. Thank you so much for being on
Can
with me
you hear me?
today. So,
Yes, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
you're you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, so are you. Hang on. I'm gonna get off and come right back on. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
All right.
That's better, whatever you did. Here. Let's see. Hey, you guys, if you're just jumping on, this is the first time I'm doing everything through Facebook Live. So we're kind of testing it out at the same time, but I'm really excited to have you here, especially on Halloween. Um, I'll have my friend Kristi on in a second. Let's see if that worked. Um, and I'll be asking her some questions just about her nutritional cleansing journey, especially today. Today's a great day to do this because it is Halloween and because um so many people are going to be eating candy and indulging and it's fun to do that. So, let's see. I think we're having some connection problems. Okay, you're back. Invite to broadcast. Okay, perfect. Let me check my connection too.
Okay,
Hey,
this should
Kristi,
be
can you hear
better.
me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, this is so much better. Awesome.
Okay. I just had to connect to Wi-Fi.
Perfect. So, you guys, if you're just hopping on, I just want to tell you every Tuesday and Thursday, I'll tell you a little bit about what this is and what I do. On Tuesdays, I love jumping on here with friends of mine who use our nutritional cleansing system so that they can share their stories with you and how they got started and their results and why they're so excited about it and why I'm so excited about it. Because I think it's important that you guys see that this is really real people with real results, real stuff. And then on Fridays, I hop on here and I talk all things entrepreneurship. So, any type of business building, whether it be someone who's like in the real estate profession, the network marketing profession, just all different things with some inspiration and stuff like that. So, thanks so much for being here today, Kristi. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you.
So, can you give us just a little bit of background on how you kind of got started with our nutritional cleansing system?
Sure. So I met our friend Carla Italiano. It was right on about 4 years ago. I met her in a coffee shop. I was there. I had a little table set up for another business that I was involved in, and she was there with a group of moms. And I met her, and I had heard about our cleansing system a little bit, and she said that that's what she was doing. So we connected on Facebook and we became friends. And, I knew just enough about it to be curious, but not really that much. And so it took me, honestly, like 2 years before I decided to jump in. And I'm not really sure why. I think there were a lot of other things that I was doing. At that time, I was running. I was training to run the Rock and Roll Half Marathon here in Savannah. And I kind of had my own thing that I was sort of kind of doing, but not as disciplined or consistent as what I probably should have been with it. So it was 2 years ago in August that I had put on a lot of weight, and it was just because I'm so busy. I am a musician and I play the oboe. I think you knew that, right, Jacqueline?
I did.
And I am usually, my schedule is crazy busy. I don't have a regular schedule. I'm always teaching college classes, teaching lessons, playing gigs. And then I had this other business I was involved in too. So I had an injury that kept me from running. And so then I wasn't working out, and I gained a ton of weight. And I knew that I was really too busy to really commit to doing anything, but that I needed to do something about the weight. So I ordered our nutritional system and I started using it. And then I just kind of fell off the wagon. And it was one of those things where I kept thinking, oh, at some point I'm going to get back to this. And then last February is when I got really serious about it. And things kind of crashed and burned in my other business. I had some issues with corporate. And again, I had gained yet even more weight, and I kind of took a step back and said, all right, so I need to reevaluate what my priorities are. And my health has always been one of them. I've always been a healthy eater. And, I've always been one of those people that if I eat junk food, I do gain weight, but I've always kind of been in a healthy lifestyle. And I knew at that time I really wasn't. And I was actually heavier than I was even after I had my children, which kind of scared me. And it was like I hit 40 and the weight came on and it just would not go away. And all the things I used to do weren't really working for me anymore. And I knew the product was good. So I sat down and talked to Carla and I said, okay, tell me what I need to do again to for real lose weight, and tell me what I need to do this as a business, because I need to make some life changes here. So that's what I did. And I can remember I met with Carla on a Sunday, and then another friend of mine and I met with her the next day, and she gave us these little goodie bags. And that was a day that I was running crazy busy. I had rehearsals and lessons, and she gave me a bar and a chocolate and I want to say maybe an e-shot. And within just a few hours, I could feel a huge difference. And I had a rehearsal. When I have rehearsals, they can run kind of late. And normally the last hour or 30 minutes of rehearsal, I can get kind of grumpy. And I realized that I wasn't, that I was happy and awake and alert, and I was on it. And I was playing better, which is always a plus. And I was like, oh my God, if I can do that in a few hours, what's going to happen to me if this is what I'm doing? So I knew that I was totally committed at that point. And I also told Carla, do not talk to me about cleanse days. I'm not doing a cleanse day. I just want shakes and bars. And lots of
I did not know that.
So for the first 2 months, I didn't even do a cleanse day. I was also in the middle of moving, and I moved from a home that I lived in for 16 years
Wow.
into a condo. So it was a really big job to move. And that was kind of what I ate while I was moving. I was on shakes and bars and e-shots, and I felt fantastic. And I had all of this energy. And I didn't really think that much about what I was doing. I just knew if I was hungry, grab a shake or bar. And that was kind of my go-to. And after I unpacked my scale, I realized that I had lost about 10 pounds. And this was within just a couple of weeks.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, it was fast. And I'm sure part of it was because I was so active, but I was active and feeling my body the way that it needed to be fueled. So since then, I think I've lost somewhere around 30 pounds.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. I was looking at your pictures and I was gonna ask you that because I didn't know like what the numbers and stuff were, but how exciting. And was that before was that incorporating cleanse or no?
Well, so after a couple of months, I was spending some time with Carla and Tasha, and Tasha kept saying, "You really have to do cleanse days." And then I have another friend who's not connected to our business, but also using the same product, and she was telling me that she was doing 2-day cleanses, but starting at noon and then going 2 days.
Uh-huh.
And I went, oh, well, I wonder if I could do that and just do one day. Maybe I'll try it. So I did a few of those. And I think that, the idea of a cleanse, it kind of scares people. And, after I did a couple of those, I felt like it's like learning a new skill. And
Yes, I
yeah,
agree with that.
yeah, you learn how to do it so that it works for you. It really isn't such a big deal at all.
Do you think that a lot of times like people have more of a mental block around the idea of a cleanse day versus
Absolutely, absolutely. What I hear in talking to people a lot is they'll say things to me like, "Well, I have to wait until I'm mentally ready to do this," and I feel like they're overthinking it but I know I did the same thing. I
yes.
totally did that.
Yes, yes, yes. So, wow, that's amazing. Your results are amazing, and I didn't even, I'm so excited about that. This is my first time hearing your story, and so I'm really excited to be on here with you. So how has the system made things like brought more ease into your life? Like you're talking about how busy you are. How
Yeah,
has more ease
it's
come in?
it's so much easier. I mean, one of the things that I did when I sat down, I mean, of course, the money, everybody's always worried about what it costs and all of that. And one of the things that I did is when I was getting ready to move and I sat down and looked at my budget and I realized how much money I was spending on fast food. And I looked at the cost of isogenics and I just went, oh my God, I cannot spend this kind of money on fast food. Like I know it's not good for me. And so why am I why am I working so hard and spending my hard-earned money on things that aren't even good for me? That just doesn't even make any sense. And so I literally was able to take about $200 a month off of what I was spending on food by using this. So that definitely made it a lot easier. And I don't have to think about food. I don't have to plan breakfast and lunch. I have the products there. I just grab them and keep them with me. And I mean, even today, I left my house at about 7 o'clock this morning, dropped my kids off at school, taught some classes. I'm getting ready to go teach another lesson here in just a little bit. I haven't been home all day. I had a shake on the way and I had a shake that I had for lunch just a little bit ago. And, I've had some healthy snacks along the way, but it's just so much easier to not have to think and plan for that.
Right. Yeah, so from like a meal prep perspective,
Hmm.
it's already taken care of. You don't
It
have
is.
to worry about the.
Yes.
So you talked a lot about like the weight loss part of it, and that's amazing. Like that's unbelievable. I'm so proud of you. I think that that's so awesome that you've been able to achieve such amazing success in that realm. What has the system done for you just from like a stress perspective? Because you talked a lot about, going through this difficult time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. One of the things that I realized before I started the system was when I teach my music students, I'm usually teaching them mid-afternoon, like usually from about 3 o'clock until 6 or 7, depending on the day. And I was so tired that I couldn't focus. And a lot of times I caught myself falling asleep. And I almost don't even want to say that. I caught myself falling asleep during lessons. And, I realized I knew I was doing that and I knew I had to do something. And I was just doing all kinds of crazy things like grabbing a Red Bull um, before lessons. But then, of course, they're really bad for you. And I was still crashing. And that was one of the things I noticed. And even probably a couple months after I started using the products, one of my students said to me, "You have so much more energy in our lessons than you used to." And so now my students I'm so proud of them because they're all doing very well. And I have one of my students that is planning to audition to go to the Juilliard School in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a couple of students that are going up to New York that are planning on taking lessons with some of my colleagues that play in the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra. Um, because they're doing so well. And, I don't want to take all the credit because they're the ones doing the work, but I feel like I've been able to be at my level 10 with them. And I think it's made a really big difference to them. The other thing that I've noticed is that I sleep a lot better. Um, I cannot tell you the last time I didn't sleep through the night. And probably the biggest challenge that I have is I'm usually up at 5 in the morning. So I have to get to bed early, and by nature I'm a night owl, and I don't like to go to bed early. But it used to be that if I tried to go to bed early, I couldn't even fall asleep, and I don't really have that happen to me anymore. It's more the physical part of making myself go to bed. But I've gotten a lot better at it, and then I fall asleep. I sleep all the way through the night, and I wake up and I just feel good. I don't feel groggy, and I don't feel like I'm so out of it.
That's amazing. And I love that you share that, just you being able to play at 100% and be your best has completely and totally flowed over into your students and how you're able to teach them and really, impact their lives in a really awesome way. Like, those are amazing feats to be able to go and audition for that. And that says a lot about you as a teacher. And so I really commend you on that. I think that's really amazing.
Thank you.
So, one of the things, I have just a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up. But one of the things that you kind of hinted at, you talk about playing at 100%.
Hmm.
Have you experienced anything just from like maybe a personal development standpoint or just from, mindset coming into the culture that we have within our community? Do you think that that also has kind of played a little bit of a role of you playing at 100% and like, being able to impact your students in the way that you've been able to?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I struggled with before this was that I always felt like, as much as I wanted to be at my best, I felt like I was the only one that felt that way. And I felt like I was very much alone in that. And even in my other business, I actually broke away from my mentor because I felt like I wasn't surrounded by people that were where I am from a personal development standpoint. And it was very, yeah, like I said, I felt alone, and I didn't like to feel that way. And I don't feel that way at all in this. It's nice to have the support. Um, if anything, I feel challenged because there's so many people that are doing so much more and doing so much better than I am. So it does make me want to be better. But I'm very aware that that's a gift, and I'm very grateful for that too.
Oh, yeah. And it's just coming, like, that's something that I'm so thankful for is coming into a community of people who are constantly lifting you up and
Yeah,
supporting you no matter what that means. You know what I mean? And no matter where you're wanting to go and where you're committed to going to. So I have two more questions for you.
okay.
The first one is, where do you see yourself in our company within the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh. I am, well, as I've kind of said, I've had a lot of life changes in the last couple of years.
Hmm.
So I am going to build this business so that it's something that can support my family. And network marketing, it's one of those things that probably 10 years ago, if you would have told me this is what I've been doing, I would have looked at you like you had two heads and like you were crazy. But in reality, I think one of the things that I like about this is that I can grow this business while I'm still growing myself personally and becoming a better musician and a better teacher. And that's definitely something I want to do. My kids will be graduating within the next, well, my oldest graduated last spring, and then I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. So in 5 years, they're all going to be out of the house. Well, 5.5 years, they'll all be out of the house. And my plan is to go back and get my doctorate in music. And so I'm planning to grow this business to support me and to provide for my retirement. because I don't, a lot of people go back to school because they want to get a better job. And that really isn't it for me. I love to learn. I love the academic environment. And, I want to be able to grow myself and learn as much as I can and really have a global impact. And I think that's one of the things that people don't think about. They look at our system and they think, oh, it's a diet. And I don't know if I can stick with a diet and I don't want to do shakes. But if you stop and think about, your nutrition impacts the way that you show up for the people that are around you. And you're constantly influencing the people around you, either for good or for bad.
Yes.
And if you're not eating well and you're not taking care of yourself and you're not feeling your best, what kind of example does that set? And what does that do for the people that are around you?
Yeah, I think that that's beautiful. And I love how like your plan is to use your business to completely and totally fuel what you're passionate about because that's one of the things that I'm committed to doing too. I'm partnered with a really amazing nonprofit organization. And so
Oh,
one
wow.
of the things that I want to do is to build my business so that I have more time freedom to be able to pour myself into a nonprofit and help, well, this a specific nonprofit, but and really have a global impact just like you said. So I think that that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. So I have one more question for you, and it's my favorite question that I ever ask anybody. What's one thing that you could share with someone who I want you to go back to that place of where you were when you first started isogenics, even maybe the place of like when you were thinking about it for 2 years and on the fence, and think about the person that you were at that point in time and how you were feeling. What's, one thing that you could leave with someone today who might be struggling with something in their life or where they're at or having a difficult time that could just give them some inspiration or lift them up?
I would say just jump off and do it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I
Is
mean,
that you love it?
really, yeah. You know, the worst thing that's going to happen is that you're not going to stick with it, which I didn't, and you'll jump back in later, but you're never going to know if you don't try. And, I think people overthink this, and yet, people will walk through the grocery store and fill their cart with junk food without even thinking twice about it. And yet, when we talk to them about something that's really healthy, that's going to fuel your body with optimal nutrition, they have to think about it for years. And I was the same way. I know, but you just have to just jump in and do it.
I love that, Kristi. Thank you so much for being on with me, especially on Halloween. I think today is the perfect time to jump on here because I think a lot of times people think that because you're living this lifestyle, you can't indulge and you can't have fun and stay on track to meet your goals. My favorite thing about this system, I don't know if it's the same for you, is that you can indulge and you can have
Absolutely.
fun and you can get right back on and not
Yeah.
derail yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
So this is the perfect time. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for taking the time
Oh,
to be on
I
here today.
you.
I'm so proud of you. You are such an amazing rock star, and
Oh,
I'm
thanks.
so fortunate to have you as part of my journey and in my life. So thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jacqueline.
You guys, I hope you have an amazing Halloween. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on with us today. And I will be back on Friday with an amazing entrepreneur with some really awesome information and some nuggets of it. Some really awesome nuggets for you guys. Bye, everyone. Have a great Halloween. Bye, Kristi.
All right, bye, Jacqueline.